Henry Paul, Executive Director of the Karen Horney Clinic in New York City, and author of the book When Kids Are Mad, Not Bad, had some interesting things to say during the commercial break. You said that so much of what we've heard, so much of the show, is all negative, and it's time these kids hear something positive about themselves.
I think that all of us who've been listening backstage in the audience have been impressed with the negativity that we've been hearing about all of these kids, all the negatives of these children. Some of the children are overweight, there's bad behavior, there's like an encyclopedia of conduct disorders here. But what most impressed me of all the kids was Tammy when she said, "This is who I am." And I want to know, Tammy, how at your age, I'm sorry, Tiffany, how do you know at your age that this is what you are? How do you have such a negative feeling about yourself? That was my curiosity. Because, you know, just before you answer, I want to say one thing. One thing that children like this do is they invoke in us negative feelings back. So it's very hard to help them because they're turning off their parents and turning off the helpers at the same time that they feel turned off. So most of the children have very low self-esteem and are depressed.
It's not just negative. I love her. I tell her all the time how much I love her and how what she does hurts me, and I cry. There's nothing that gets through.
Well, I don't think that...
Just because no matter what she does, I still love her. And you know that, don't you? What do we do at night? I ask you, don't do these things. I tell you, I love you, don't I?
Yes.
Rosie, you know, before Mommy asked you, why'd you step on my flowers, and you said you didn't know and you didn't remember, I believe that you didn't remember. Because I believe that kids like Rosie don't really know quite why they're angry. And we don't know sitting here why they're angry because it has something to do with the attachment that she has with her mommy. Well-meaning mommy, and I'm sure that you love Rosie, but there's something in the attachment that Rosie has to you that doesn't allow her to really know what she's feeling. And when kids don't know what they're feeling, it often comes out as rage and anger.
So how do you deal with that? How do you talk to your children so they get out more? Like, for instance, when we were talking to Tiffany, just talking to her.
You see, what happens, it usually deteriorates that the parents keep on focusing on the negatives, and the kids get angrier and angrier, and more negatives and more negatives.
Okay, so what should she do instead?
That cycle has to be broken. And I'm not saying you haven't broken it yet. I'm just saying that at the other end of the stage, it seems that it hasn't been broken. It's fallen into a cycle. I think because the children are older. I want to know still from Tammy, why is it that you say that you are... From Tiffany, Tammy's daughter. Why do you say that this is who is this bad kid? And that's what I didn't understand when I was listening.
The only thing I want to do is be able to fit in with the crowd.
What crowd?
But you see, we always think that the gangs influence the children. You know, recent studies have shown that children are already very troubled when they join a gang, and then it becomes worse. It's like a vicious cycle. Also, children like Nicole and Tammy, who different type of group, whatever the race is, it's usually a sign that they in their own family don't feel accepted. And it usually happens around the preteen and teen years. So already by the time the gang behavior starts, or by the time the seeking the other gender, we already see the signs of low self-esteem. The gangs represent substitute families, and the other races often represent a way of rebelling and also finding a family, a different type of family.
Well, what about, you talk about oh wait, hold on one second. You talk about self-esteem issues, and I really want to talk with Cynthia and the situation. I think so many of us as adult women particularly go through life trying to get over self-esteem issues with our weight, and I would hate to see that laid on a 9-year-old and a 12-year-old.
And the first thing that has to happen is the children must lose weight. Now, their I'm going to tell you why.
Wait a minute, tell us right after this commercial break, because a lot of folks over there didn't like that answer. What will the kids and the parents on my panel do after this show? Can they start all over again? Well, we're going to offer some help as we offer some positive sight here, and that way we'll have a little hope. We'll be right back in a minute.